My name's Cal. Used to be a mechanic. Fixed carburetors, patched tires, tuned engines for folks who drove their Chevys like they were chasing the horizon. Back then, I'd wipe grease off my hands, crack a bottle of cola, and listen to the radio buzz with Elvis or the news. My biggest worry was whether I'd get paid on time or if the diner's meatloaf was worth the quarter. That's all gone now. The world's a husk. Black Hollow, Nebraska, my hometown, is just a skeleton of brick and ash. The plague hit in '61, turned people into things that aren't people anymore. They're not zombies, not like in the comics. They're worse. They walk, they talk sometimes, until they don't. Then it's just teeth and hunger. I don't fix cars anymore. I'm a runner now. Not the kind that races. The kind that gets what's left, can beans, bandages, bullets, and brings it back to whoever's still breathing. Me and my dog, Scout, we're the ones you call when you need something from the ruins that it's dangerous work. Simple, but dangerous. You want something, you tell me. I name a price. You don't like it, go get it yourself. Most don't. They've seen what's out there. The silence that chokes you. The shadows that move wrong. I've walked through gas stations with shattered pumps, churches with broken pews, houses where the clocks are still ticking. Found a jukebox once, glass cracked, but still playing blue suede shoes to an empty diner. That kind of thing sticks with you. I live outside Black Hollow. What's left of it? A few boarded up shops, a grain silo leaning like it's drunk, a couple dozen folks trading what they can. I don't get involved in their squabbles. Too much talk about who gets the last can of soup. My place is a shed, half a mile out. Corrugated walls, a cot, a lantern. Scout sleeps by the door. He's a mutt, gray and wiry. Found him in a ditch 3 years ago. Thought he was dead at first, just a pile of fur in the mud. Then he growled, low and mean, like he was daring me to leave him. I didn't doubt he's my partner now. Watches my back, sniffs out trouble, keeps me from going too quiet inside my own head. We've got rules out here, Scout and me. Rules keep you alive. I'm going to tell you our story, and I'll lay out the rules as we go. They're not fancy, just what I've learned the hard way. Maybe they'll help you. Maybe they won't. But if you're reading this, you're probably already in deep. So listen close. Chapter 1. The Fall. Exposition. It started in the spring of '61. I was under a Ford, cursing a rusted bolt, when the radio cut out mid-song. Static, then a voice. Emergency broadcast. Something about a fever spreading out of Omaha, hospitals overflowing, people acting strange. I didn't think much of it. Flu season maybe. But by nightfall, Black Hollow was screaming that I saw my first one that evening. Mrs. Delaney, who ran the bakery. She was standing in the street, apron still on, flour on her hands, staring at nothing. I called out to her. She turned, slow, like her neck was on a swivel. Her eyes were wrong, milky, like dirty glass. Then she lunged. I barely got my wrench up in time. Cracked her skull before she could bite. Didn't know what she was then. Just knew she wasn't Mrs. Delaney anymore. The town fell apart fast. People locked themselves in their houses, boarded windows, prayed it'd pass. It didn't. By summer, half the town was dead or turned. The other half scattered or hid. I stayed. Didn't have anywhere else to go. My garage was my castle, tools my weapons. I held out there for months, scavenging what I could, learning how to move quiet, how to listen for the shuffle of feet that weren't human. That's when I found Scout. I was checking an old feed store, looking for anything edible. Heard a whine from a ditch out back. Found him tangled in barbed wire, half-starved, ribs sharp under his fur. He snapped at me when I got close, but his eyes weren't like hers. They were alive. I cut him free, gave him half my jerky. He followed me home. Been with me ever since. Rule 1. Don't go out alone. Sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many try. The infected move in packs sometimes, especially the fresh ones. They're not smart, but they're fast, and they don't stop. One's bad enough. 3 or 4. You're done unless you've got someone, or something, watching your back. Scout's better than any person. He hears what I don't, smells what I can't. Saved my life more times than I can count. Chapter 2. The Job, Inciting Incident. Winter of '62. I got a job that changed everything. Black Hollow survivors had a camp, maybe 30 folks holed up in the old high school. They had a leader, Ruth, a former schoolteacher with a voice like gravel. She came to me with a request. They needed medicine, penicillin, bandages, anything to stop infections. Their stock was gone, and people were dying from scratches that turned septic. There was a hospital in Kearney, 30 miles east. Supposedly untouched. Supposedly stocked that I didn't want the job. Too far, too risky. But Ruth offered a month's worth of food. Canned peaches, dried beef, even coffee. Real coffee, not the chicory nonsense we'd been choking down. Scout looked at me like he knew I'd say yes. I did. Named my price. The food, plus a working radio. She agreed. We shook hands. Her grip hard as iron. I packed light. Rifle, knife, a sack for supplies. Scout's leash, though he doesn't need it. We left at dawn, moving along the old highway, asphalt cracked and sprouting weeds. The world was quiet, just the crunch of gravel under my boots and Scout's soft panting. I kept my eyes on the horizon, my ears on the wind. You learn to listen for what's not there. The absence of birds. The stillness that feels wrong. That we made it halfway before trouble found us. A gas station, windows busted, pumps leaning like broken teeth. I needed to check it. Could be water, could be nothing. Scout's ears went up, his tail still. I should have listened to him. Should have kept moving. Chapter 3. The Trap, Rising Action. Inside the gas station, it was dark, air thick with dust, and the smell of old oil. Shelves were empty, stripped years ago. I was checking the counter when Scout growled, low and steady. I froze. Heard it then, shuffling, from the back room. Not loud, just enough to make my neck prickle. I signaled Scout to stay, crept toward the door. Pushed it open with my rifle barrel. .3 of them, crouched in the corner. Fresh ones, still wearing clothes that fit. A man in a plaid shirt, a woman with curlers in her hair, a kid no older than 10. Their eyes caught the light, glinting like coins. I backed up slow, heart hammering. Scout was already at the exit, teeth bared. We could have made it out clean, but I stepped on a can. It clattered, loud as a gunshot. They moved fast. Too fast. I shot the man first, bullet through his temple. The woman came next, her curlers bouncing as she lunged. My knife caught her throat, but she kept coming, hands clawing. Scout leapt, took her down, gave me time to reload. The kid was the worst. He didn't run, just walked, arms limp, like he was asking for help. I shot him twice. Didn't look at his face after we got out, but I was shaking. Scout licked my hand, like he knew. I told him, "Don't get used to this, boy. We're not heroes." He just stared. I steady. Rule 2. Always know your exits. Doesn't matter where you are, gas station, house, hospital. You go in, you know how to get out. Doors, windows, vents. If you don't, you're trapped. And traps get you killed. Chapter 4. The Hospital, Rising Action. Kearney was a ghost town. Empty cars lined the streets, windows fogged with grime. The hospital loomed at the edge, a gray brick monster with broken windows like empty eyes. Scout didn't like it. Kept stopping, sniffing the air, hackles up. I didn't like it either, but we needed that medicine. The front doors were chained, so we went around back. Found a loading dock, door ajar. Inside, it was worse than I expected. Gurneys tipped over, papers scattered, bloodstains on the tiles. Smell of rot and antiseptic. I moved slow, rifle ready, Scout at my heels. We found the pharmacy on the second floor, behind a locked door. I pried it open with a crowbar, heart pounding. Jackpot. Shelves full of bottles, bandages, syringes. I filled my sack, penicillin, iodine, gauze. Enough to keep the camp alive for months. But something felt off. The air was too still, like the building was holding its breath. Scout whined, soft and urgent. I heard it then, scratching from the hallway. Not footsteps. Something worse. Rule 3. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it is. Doesn't matter if you can't see it. Doesn't matter if you're tired or hungry or desperate. Your gut knows before your eyes do. I grabbed the sack, signaled Scout, and we moved for the stairs. Too late. The hallway filled with them. Dozens. Old ones, gray and shriveled, moving like spiders. We were cut off. Chapter 5. The Escape, Climax. No time to think. I ran, Scout ahead, his claws clicking on the tile. The stairs were blocked, so I kicked open a door to a side room. Janitor's closet, barely big enough for us. I barricaded it with a shelf, hard in my throat. The infected pounded the door, their nails scraping like knives. Scout pressed against my leg, trembling but silent that I found a vent in the wall, rusted but wide enough. Pulled the grate off, shoved Scout inside, then crawled after him. The duct was tight, air stale, but it led somewhere. We moved blind, metal creaking under my weight. The pounding faded behind us. I didn't know where we were going, just that we had to keep moving. The vent dumped us into a basement, dark and damp. A service door led outside, but it was locked. I worked the lock with my knife, hands shaking, while Scout stood guard. Something moved in the shadows, a single infected, old and slow, dragging a broken leg. I didn't shoot. Couldn't risk the noise. I cracked its skull with the crowbar, one swing, then another. Rule 4, always double tap. One hit's never enough. You make sure they're down, or they'll come back that we got out, sack still in hand. The hospital was behind us, but I could still hear them, their moans echoing in the dark. We didn't stop running until we hit the highway. Chapter 6. The Stranger, Falling Action. On the way back, we met her. Lena. She was sitting by a burned-out truck, eating a can of pears with a spoon. Young, maybe 20, with a rifle across her lap and eyes that didn't blink enough. Scout didn't growl, but he didn't relax either. I kept my distance, hand on my knife. She said she was heading to Black Hollow, looking for her brother. Said he'd been with the camp, but left to scavenge and never came back. I didn't trust her. Nobody's that calm in the open unless they're hiding something. But she offered to share her pears, and I was hungry. We sat, ate, didn't say much. Scout watched her like a hawk. Rule 5. Watch their hands. Eyes can lie, mouths can lie, but hands tell the truth. Lena's were steady. No twitching, no reaching for her gun. Still, I kept my rifle close. She asked to travel with us, said she'd pull her weight. I didn't want company, but three's better than two against a pack. I said yes, but told her to stay in front. Scout walked between us. Chapter 7. The Ambush, Complication. We were a day out from Black Hollow when it happened. A bridge, half collapsed, over a dry creek bed. Looked clear, but Scout froze, nose twitching. I signaled Lena to stop. Too late. Gunshots cracked from the trees, bullets kicking up dirt. Not infected, people. Bandits, probably after my sack. Lena dropped flat, returned fire. I dragged Scout behind a rock, aimed my rifle. There were 4 of them, ragged and desperate. I took one down, clean shot through the chest. Lena got another. The last 2 ran, but not before they clipped my arm. Just a graze, but it burned like hell. Lena patched me up, quick and quiet, like she'd done it before. Scout stayed close, whining soft. Rule 6. Never assume you're alone. Even when it's quiet, someone's watching. Could be infected, could be worse. People are the real predators now. They'll kill for a can of beans, for a bullet, for nothing. We searched the bodies, found a few rounds, a knife, a half-empty flask. Lena took the flask, didn't drink. I didn't ask why. Chapter 8. The Return, Falling Action. We made it back to Black Hollow at dusk. The camp was still there, but it looked smaller, weaker. Ruth met us at the gate, her face hard but tired. I handed over the sack, told her about the hospital, the ambush. She didn't say much, just nodded, gave me the food and the radio. It was broken, But I didn't argue. Scout wagged his tail. First time in days, Lena stayed. Said she'd wait for news about her brother. I didn't tell her what I thought, that he was probably dead or turned. She didn't ask. That night, I sat in my shed, Scout at my feet, the radio spitting static. I thought about the hospital, the kid in the gas station, Lena's steady hands. Something about her stuck with me. Not trust, not yet. But something. Rule 7, don't get attached. People die, they leave, they turn. You let them in, you're asking for pain. I've seen it before, friends, neighbors, gone in a blink. Scout's different. He's not human. He doesn't lie, doesn't betray. But Lena? I didn't know yet. Chapter 9. The Truth, Resolution. A week later, Lena came to my shed. Said she'd heard rumors her brother was seen in a town called Redfield, 10 miles north. Wanted me to go with her. I didn't want to. Too many jobs, too many risks. But Scout liked her, and that meant something. I said I'd think about it. That night, I checked my jar of flies. Rule 8. Keep a jar of flies. Same as the old rule, rotting meat, mesh lid, buzzing inside. They're quiet until something's wrong. I let them out near Lena's tent. They didn't swarm her. Flew to a pile of garbage instead. That was enough for me. She wasn't infected. Not yet that I told her I'd go. We left at dawn, Scout leading the way. Redfield was a wreck. Houses burned, streets choked with cars. We found her brother in a church basement, or what was left of him. He was fresh, still talking, begging for help. But his nails were yellow, his breath sour. Lena froze, tears in her eyes. I didn't. 2 shots, head and chest. She didn't speak to me after. Chapter 10. The road ahead, denouement. We buried him under a tree, no marker. Lena stayed in Redfield, said she needed time. I didn't argue. Scout and I walked back to Black Hollow alone. The highway stretched out, empty and gray, like it was waiting for us to make a mistake. I kept my rifle ready, my eyes on the horizon. Rule 9. Keep moving. You stop too long, you die. Doesn't matter if it's a horde, a bullet, or just your own head getting heavy. You keep moving, you keep breathing. Scout knows it too. He trots ahead, ears up, like he's got somewhere to be. Maybe he does. Rule 10. Hold on to something. Could be a dog, a memory, a hope. For me, it's Scout. He's my reason, my partner, my warning bell. Without him, I'd be another body in the dirt. Black Hollow's still here, for now. Jobs keep coming. Food, tools, medicine. I'll take them, long as I can. The world's broken, but it's not done yet. Neither am I. Good luck out there. You'll need it.